In today's video, we're continuing our coverage on the Marvel Cinematic Universe, mainly talking about Deadpool and Wolverine, but there are some pretty interesting rumors going around about other Marvel projects, such as Avengers 5, Kang still being an integral part to the multiverse storyline, but why wouldn't he be? They've literally set up the whole multiverse with Kang in Loki and Ant-Man 3. They can't just scrap it randomly. Even if they do bring Doom or the Beyonder or someone else, they can't just get rid of Kang instantly. So, yo, what is freaking good YouTube voice for you on Neuro to make subscribe to never miss any of the Marvel, DC, casual, Monsterverse, pop culture-based content that I try to cover on a daily basis. If you could, subscribe to the channel, turn notifications on, and let me know how freaking hyped are you for this Deadpool and Wolverine to save the MCU temporarily. And also, if you could, become a channel member for less than 99p, less than $1. It really does help keep the lights on at the Warstu headquarters. So, also, check us out on Instagram at Warstu to see the beautiful face behind the voice. And check us out on twitter.com, aka x.com, WarstuG. So, there's a lot of rumors and speculation and verified information to a certain degree about Deadpool and Wolverine. Allegedly, we're getting the first proper trailer in May, because the first trailer we got was the teaser trailer. Then trailer 1 becomes the first official trailer. Technically, it's the second trailer. So yeah, sure, bro. There will be a second trailer, but the movie doesn't come out to July, so I wouldn't be expecting trailer galore. I mean, sure, you'll get TV spot galore very close to the movie actually coming out. So we've gone over this a few times of the whole, there's a new multiversal rule coming to the MCU. There has to be one. It's just a massive MacGuffin. There has to be one hero or one chosen one that must exist in each universe. Otherwise, said universe will die after a set amount of time, which really makes no sense, because if Tom Holland's Spider-Man is the main MCU one, he literally disappeared during the Infinity Saga and nothing happened. But it did also say it takes a very, very long time for said universe to decay and disappear. If that's the case, it's pointless. So there is this huge rumor going around from a somewhat credible source that says most, if not all, of the movie will take place in the Void. So 70 to 75% of the movie will take place in the Void. Now, this could be fabricated because all the behind-the-scenes footage, images, clips have been taking place in the Void. We've seen the Void in the first trailer, and the Void was a vocal point of Loki Season 1 and Loki Season 2. So that could be nonsense, because we don't know what was filmed on the sound stages, what was filmed inside the studios. So saying 70% of the movie could take place in the Void, I mean, it would make sense, because we're in a multiverse. Incursions have already started. You're seeing the end of the Marvels. You're seeing Doctor Strange 2. You see Clea going, yo, it's a Stephen Strange. You caused a bunch of nonsense, so we're going to have to go fix it. And the interesting thing is that Doctor Strange came out ages ago, and they haven't said anything about that franchise at all, have they? No, they haven't yet. So that's not a good thing, but also, apparently, Cassandra Nova is still the villain. Now, I don't necessarily think she is the villain. Now, a lot of people are like, yo, but Marvel have officially said she's the villain. No, Marvel have officially said she's playing Cassandra Nova. That does not say she's the villain. So, multiverse, Deadpool's universe is dying, TVA via Paradox is like, yo, you got to save your universe and maybe recruit a team to stop this multiversal threat. So, realistically, this just makes time the threat, because they haven't got unlimited time. So, ultimately, time is going to be the overall villain. It's not going to be Cassandra Nova. Yeah, and yet it could be misdirected. I could be talking absolute nonsense, but we don't know. So there is information going around that also says the Void is held by Cassandra Nova. If you don't agree to work for her, she basically kills you via Goliath, who we've seen in the Loki TV show. I mean, it could be true. We do technically see that happen in said trailer. It's always hard to tell what information is true and what information is fake, because you can literally make anything up. So, we know there's reshoots coming up for this movie, and so many people are throwing everybody in. Yeah, I do believe there's going to be a hell of a lot of cameos. Sure, but they've got to be in context. They've got to make sense. So, most likely, the cameos are only going to take place from people like in the X-Men, from people in the Fantastic Four. So, yes, seeing Channing Tatum Gambit is most likely going to happen. The Henry Cavill Wolverine scene is mostly likely going to be what happens. But I think a pretty cool way of doing that would be when Deadpool goes looking for, the Hugh Jackman version of Wolverine, is he finds these variant of Wolverine, like the alleged Daniel Radcliffe is playing Patch. So that would be a pretty cool way to introduce them, because obviously these variants are going to be cameo roles. They're not going to be long-term roles. They're going to be really short roles, but it's got to make sense in the story. So people are expecting Tom Cruise Iron Man to rock up. I mean, it could happen, but it's very unlikely. So most of the movie happening in the void does make sense. The anchors, they've got to be part of the universe. The rest of the universe is, we start to decay and disappear. That is still something that I keep hearing over and over again. So you could say, yes, the void information is true, because most of the behind the scenes footage, that we won't use it because you've got to pay, or else you'll get copyright strikes for using it. So we're not going to use it. We just overlay normal footage like I do, but it would make sense. Nova being in charge of the void, again, would make sense. But if the incursions are coming, if universe is going to start dying, the overall villain would be time. And I still, as we said in the previous video to do with the Marvel Cinematic Universe Deadpool 3, I still think Paradox is going to have a huge part to play, because he just looks cunning. He looks conniving in the teaser trailer. He really does. So if Cassandra Nova is the overall villain, and a lot of people keep saying that, oh, in trailer 2, we're going to see more Cassandra Nova, we're going to see the Hulk, we're going to see Wolverine. If Hulk's in the movie, why would they ruin that, even though people were talking about that? People have been talking about it for 5 years. Why would they ruin it in a trailer? They generally wouldn't ruin cameo roles in a trailer unless they are worried that said movie is going to underperform. So also in the news, although I don't find this to be actual massive news, so I won't make a video about this because it's literally a throwaway line. Avengers 5 is reportedly expected to begin filming in 2025. Well, if it's going to come out in 2026, this is kind of like obvious. It's actually news. I can't believe people report this as news via Daniel RPK, but I mean, that's just a guess, to be honest. It's got a 2026 release date still, so it has to film at least a year before so they can do everything. And Kang is still going to return in Avengers 5, although it's not called the Kang's Dynasty, but Kang is still going to be a massive part. So the way Loki Season 2 ended, we had the TVA still monitoring the Kangs. We had the Ramatut Tease. And I think Marvel will be very stupid to go away from the Kang storyline. Now, they don't have to have it completely focused on the Kangs, but if they do completely scrap Kang, then the part of the audience that's already invested to that part of the storyline will be completely turned off and annoyed. And at the moment, Marvel really don't want to do anything to annoy the audience, because let's be honest, Deadpool and Wolverine is the only surefire movie that Marvel have coming up. As Captain America The Brave New World is reshooting the whole freaking movie because nobody cares for a new Captain America that people don't still see as Captain America because Chris Evans is Captain America. Yes, I understand it's comic book accurate that Sam Wilson becomes Captain America, but let's be honest, and also actually it's pretty funny, is Anthony Mackie came out and said, oh, the comic books, there's not much room to play because the Marvel movies follow the comic books. I'm thinking, Civil War, and I'm not even a big comic book guy, Civil War movie was absolutely nothing like the comic book. What happened in Endgame was nothing like the Infinity Gauntlet in the comic. So no, there's so much room to play for. It's the fact that Marvel won't let anyone have creative control to do anything they want to do. But if Marvel were smart, and if they are planning to film Avengers 5 next year, then they would have to set up some variation of the new Avengers inside Avengers Brave New World Order in order to have a new team, because at the moment there are no Avengers, and then that will mean you'd have to have people in there to cameo role, because outside of Doctor Strange, maybe Spider-Man, Captain Marvel, you can't just randomly have other Avengers turn up if the form isn't already teamed. So we know that Michael Waldron is currently working on the script for Avengers 5. I do believe he will do a pretty good job. But as for Avengers 5 actually filming next year, I just feel like that's someone throwing something out there just to say they said it first, because realistically, they have to start filming movies, realistically. And you're probably going to see a lot of people saying, oh, there's going to be a massive Deadpool 3 script change during reshoots in May. No, from everything I understand, there's going to be minor changes, and that's where they're going to add a bunch of cameos. But the cameos have to make sense. They're not going to change the whole movie like they did for Doctor Strange 2, like they are for Captain America 4, That is not going to be the case. And it's not going to be Cameo Central. Realistically, Multiverse of Madness wasn't Cameo Central outside the Illuminati, but the Illuminati played a pinnacle part of the overall movie. So like I've said before multiple times, outside of the X-Men and Fantastic Four part of the Fox universe, which they may kill off, probably won't kill off because they're not going to introduce their own X-Men till after Secret Wars anyway. So you probably will see the likes of Hugh Jackman Wolverine in Avengers Secret Wars potentially, if they can give him the bag, if they can secure a good storyline. So it is fascinating how people report news, because most of this news I see come up in the Marvel sphere, it's really just people's ideas thrown out as a scoop if you ask me. But what do I know? I mean, I know quite a lot, but what do I know? So it's interesting also how apparently Doctor Doom was considered to be a member of the Illuminati, according to Alex from the Cosmic Circus. And Alex Perez is pretty much one of the only scoopers that is actually real, to be fair. He got Loki season 2 bang on, so anything Alex Perez says, I would take note of what he says, because generally speaking, he's got a really good track record. So Deadpool 3 hype will get bigger and bigger after the next trailer, for sure. But as for the story, people really still don't know what the story is. You can let me know down below if you know what the story is, but most people don't. They really don't. It's just guessing. Like saying 75% of the movie will take place in the Void. That's pretty much a guess. They've got to go to other universes, or else it literally makes no sense. It can't just take place in the Void and where the TVA is. It's a multiversal movie. You've got to see the multiverse, but it is what it is. So like always, guys, check us out on Instagram at Warstu to see the beautiful time to be voice. Check us out on Twitter, Warstu, and I'll catch you in another video, guys, very soon. Catch you later.